Hi you guys, it's Wendy coming to you with a project share. This is a flow journal, a supply type journal swap that I participated in. This one was themed and it was Women's Month themed, and so really we were to look for as many images of women doing as many types of activities as we could. And so this is what I'm getting ready to send out to my partner, and I just wanted to share with you before I did. So I made this out of a file folder, and I covered it with definitions, anything from witch to woman. On the other side, I have a definition of mother. There's some more definitions I'm going to give my partner. But just images, motherhood or teacher. We have a flight attendant. This is some sort of 70s, maybe computer analysis sort of image. She's obviously looking into these sort of big data machines. Here we have another mother image. We have this family image, kind of a multi-generational teacher probably. This is a scientist or someone who's observing something. Again, kind of a motherhood type image. And then if you flip it over, I have a woman who's doing pottery, a woman who's gardening beside her partner, probably a teacher, mother. There's a motherhood definition, kind of this older woman, and a doctor. I've got these little fibers on the end. On the inside, I've got some ribbons, some list pads and note papers, and this is just all the stuff that I typically send. I did include quite a few pieces of scrapbook paper this time, just some ones where I had multiples. So I'll show you a few of those. They're kind of springy, so I thought I would send them along. This came from a set where I think you got 10 of each pattern, and I have no idea why I needed that initially, but I have lots of it left over. We have some cool 70s or 60s wallpaper or wrapping paper. I think it's probably for a bridal shower or a baby shower, and so you have this woman who's got a watering can and flowers, so that's pretty cool. Some gold paper, teacher's roll book, some craft paper, graph paper, seating chart, more grade book, ledger paper. Some of this interesting patterned paper filler paper that I found. Some doilies. For the sake of the woman theme, I tried to include music sheets that were lady themed. So we have Nellie was a lady and Charming Marguerite. We have some napkins. There's a peacock, a rose, this purple. Some of these pattern coloring book papers. They're kind of geometrics. Randomly and not really woman related, we have shorthand lessons, some dictionary pages, and some blueprint books, and little doodads that I've included inside these bags, some pewter colored shiny paper and some copper colored paper, another doily, and on the inside a card. So for something that's so woman themed, I'm going to skip back here. I did also include more napkins and just more doodads everywhere. So that's kind of a standard flow. And you guys are probably saying, well, aside from the cover, there's not a lot of woman images. And so I decided essentially to just clip those together and offer those in this way. So you can kind of see, I've got a lot of images that I'm going to offer. This was kind of a challenge for me, primarily because as I began to look at all of my resources, the things that I just have on hand as opposed to buying, a lot of the images are very standard, you know, images of motherhood. And so I thought I'd maybe go through some of those. I have a definition of female. We have this motherhood or grandma type image. A dressmaker definition. This is probably the only non-human mother image, but I just thought it was kind of cute. Just a mama cat carrying her baby. Here we have a king and a queen. Motherhood image. Probably a motherhood, mom and the child in a hospital setting. We have a professor, mother, dress. Here we have, it looks like this might be someone in the medical field. It doesn't look like a mom. It looks like she's got something around her neck. We have a lifeguard, somebody who's dressing up mannequins. This really vintage image of someone who's posing, being a model for this youngster who's drawing her. We have these folks who are dancing. This woman who's playing something that looks a lot like tennis. There's a motherhood image. We have women as lovers. Teacher. Rich woman. Grandma baking or old woman baking the gingerbread man. Teacher. Policewoman. That's a new one. I have this little series of postcards. We have a Chagall painting or drawing, and so we have another mother image. Just Betty Davis, and this series of funny cards that are kind of making fun of, I don't know, I guess just 50s sensibilities and how women were supposed to be. This one says he couldn't become a distant memory soon enough to suit her. She had never guessed that cooking for one could be such a delight. She was over him at last. And here we have a motherhood image postcard. So yeah, I mean, I guess that was one of the sort of, I guess from a sociological standpoint, as I began to gather these images, I just really saw a lot of motherhood and teacher images. And I'm curious, and I'm going to pose this question to the group and to the participants of this particular swap. You know, what did they encounter? And maybe it's just my materials and my supplies, because, you know, maybe if you use standard or current images from current magazines, maybe these aren't the images that you get. Maybe they're more kind of dynamic and in keeping with what women currently do in the world and all that they do. So I'm just curious, because I guess in some ways it kind of bummed me out that of all these things, you know, a lot of my supplies are old children's books, and they're all very motherhood oriented. There aren't a lot of women doing a lot of things. And this is just larger images along the same lines. I have a yearbook photos. I have a pocket guide to Japan with a geisha. Here's a woman bowling. Here's a woman learning to drive. A woman by the fire sewing. Here's a mother, teacher. Here's the little old woman who lived in a shoe who had so many kids she didn't know what to do. You have a nurse, a dental helper, dental hygienist maybe. This woman's obviously working on, she's a paleontologist apparently. We have Amelia Earhart. This woman, Madame Feeble, was an opera singer who was the first woman to go up in a hot air balloon. That's interesting. We have a Egyptian image, and we have a woman who looks like she's fanning this gentleman. Motherhood image, grandma image. This woman is tending to some plants. This woman is getting into her purse. This woman is consulting with a doctor. This is a nurse, mother, teacher, mother, old woman. This is Helen Keller and her teacher. Teacher, mother. This is an Indian woman. Women from all different places. This is from Sarah Plainenthal. And of course, the ultimate woman, Statue of Liberty. Wife, housekeeper, mother riding bike with her kids, someone with a cat, and a grandma or a mom. So definitely interesting from a sociological standpoint. And as someone who struggles, I guess, with what a woman is supposed to be, and in particular, not being able to be a mother when I want to be a mother, to kind of do this exercise of looking for images of women was kind of a bummer, honestly, because image after image after image says, you're supposed to be a mother, you're supposed to be a mother, you're supposed to be a mother. And so that was rough for me, in all honesty. And, you know, of course, by the other, on the other hand, you see a few images here and there of women who are successful in careers and, you know, doing things and are in power positions or doing things besides motherhood. But I'll be curious to see what sorts of images my partner sends me, and I'm certainly going to ask the group and the participants of this Flowish journal swap what their feelings were when they were putting this together, and, you know, whether they experienced the same thing that I did. So anyway, I figured I'd share this with you guys. Hopefully you're having a good day. It's really sunshiny outside. I think I'm going to go walk my dog before I have to go to work. But hopefully you're all doing well, and take care. I'll see you next time. Bye-bye.